All right, good morning. So I'm preparing for a 2-day hiking trip, like I had mentioned in the conditioning hike video, and also part of staying fit and being trail ready. I'm 60 years old this year, and as you get older, things get a little harder, as I've explained in other videos where my pack weight was just starting to get to me. But I also, part of my routine is I go out running several times, if not almost every day a week. I go out running some kind of mileage. And today I'm going to go about 6 miles. I'm out at a beautiful state park here in Northeast Florida. It's Gold Head State Park. And I'll take you along for the run. Like I said, I'm looking to do around 6 miles or so today. So we'll see if the video stabilization is pretty good or not. As you can see, I do run with a running vest, but that's just to carry, my keys, my wallet, the important things. I don't carry like water. I definitely don't carry extra weight. So you can see it's very, very quiet out here. I just saw a deer cross the road. Didn't capture it. It already caught wind of me. So when I go out on these runs, especially the ones that are a little bit longer, I tend to keep my pace, for me, a reasonable pace, which is I try to stay under a 12-minute mile, which is running about 5 miles an hour. So other than that, like I said, I've been running for a very long time, ever since joining the military. And like I was mentioning, part of this is just to keep my body conditioned, so when I do go on hikes, I'm spending more time enjoying versus suffering, to a point, as you noted in some of the other videos, because of my pack weight. And there is a school of thought. You'll hear that you'll develop your trail legs as you hike. I do understand that. I do believe that is possible for some, but for a man of my age, I do believe you have to have a regular, some kind of regular exercise, be it walking, be it whatever you enjoy to do to keep yourself physically active, because hiking is demanding if you're going to put in, miles. And I'm not talking about, crushing miles. I'm just talking 7 to 12 a day. It's, I can tell you, I feel like I'm in decent shape for my age, and it's tiring at times. It's tiring at times. Okay, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna move down the road a little bit more. So, one of the things I really do like about some of the state parks here in the Northeast region of Florida is the diversity of, the landscape. Like, as you go down some of these hills, you can see a lot more moss, a lot more live oaks. Right at the beginning of the park, it's more like a pine forest. Just very enjoyable. Definitely keeps your eyes busy, and yeah, so I'm gonna run a little bit more. Okay, about 3 miles in, time for a little bit of trail running. As you can see, you gotta really keep my eyes on the trail. As you can see by the orange blaze, I'm actually running a section of the Florida Trail. You might have seen that if it's on day one of my
Lap 3, 11:11.
Oh, so I just hit mile 3. So I got a little distracted. But one of the things is this conditioning that I was talking about, and I really believe any exercise, when it comes to running and walking, even like hiking, you are playing mental Tetris, because I gotta constantly scan ahead, look for obstacles, definitely look for stumps to fall over. But even you can do exercises at home, in a chair, just anything. And, all the research that I know of, says that any form of exercise, especially when you get older, is really good for brain health, as well as just general health too, unless you fall as much as I do. So, all right, so this is the Lake Johnson. You can hear all the birds. I'll give them a moment to talk. Okay. All right. I'll see you up the trail. Okay. Coming up on just the last mile. Something I was thinking about while I was running. And of course, that's one of the other reasons why I run, to get my mind in order. But what's this idea? For me, I don't really say, I'm saying that physical fitness is the silver bullet, so to say, for hiking or anything else. Everything in my life, I try to take the pie chart example, that these are all pieces of the pie. And I believe that that is useful for anybody, in the sense of figure a goal you want and then build the pies, the pieces of it. Say, well, in order for me to, feel comfortable while I'm hiking or running up this hill, I need to do these several things: adequate sleep, good diet, stretching, and then say to yourself, well, these are the different pieces of the pie. So when you look at it, you can sit there and say, wow, I really do this bit very well. And you can capitalize on those successes. So before I completely lose my wind, I'm going to stop. All right, finished up the run, very comfortable. As you saw, just, a decent pace for me. I try on the longer runs. I try to go out on a quote unquote longer run, at least once or twice a week. Some of the questions I know that comes up, like, living in a van, what do you do about, the sweating and and the smell and everything. So as for like hygiene, it's just basically getting out of these clothes as quick as possible, and hanging them up. These are synthetic materials. Synthetic materials do hold in the bacteria, which is the smell, more than the wool materials. But I'd like to say I guess I'm fortunate that I don't have, a really intense body odor. In fact, I've been described as smelling like a wet puppy, which that's a compliment, right? Right? I don't know. I hope it is, but no, you got to just keep yourself clean, and then and you have to be, of course, mindful that you're not offending people. But other than that, I just thanks again for stopping by. If you have any other questions, maybe something I missed, or anything like that, or just maybe your own ideas on how to stay active as you get older, over 50, and to keep a very active lifestyle, maybe put your comments down below, as they say. But thanks again. Looking forward to the hiking trip, which will be for me in I'm leaving actually tomorrow. So we'll see you out on trail, Stump Knocker here, and I'll see you again on the next adventure.